Turn that on. I'd like to welcome you guys to the LFGG podcast, episode 6, with Easy and myself, Connor. We'd like to welcome a very special guest, multi-rank 1 rogue Nessper. Thanks for coming on. And we asked the same question to everyone when they first get here: is how did you get into World of Warcraft?
I think my friend in 7th grade told me about it, and then I think we were like, our friend group in grade school was just like bored of Call of Duty, so we tried WoW.
Nice.
And then I was awful. My account got hacked, and I played private servers until Cata came out.
Really? Don't tell me you tried to buy gold and you got keylogged. Is that what happened?
No.
That happened
It was
to my first account.
It was in BC. It was there was like a thing with the Curse Forge add-on or whatever. It was like compromised or something.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember I tried to buy 200 gold for $25, and then I got hacked and all my shit got stolen, then I got permabanned. And that was my first ever experience buying
I didn't
gold in
really
BC.
care because I was level 12, so I was like, alright, fuck it.
Fair. Well, once
Shit happens.
Once you got back playing in Cata, like, were you rogue main, or what did you start?
Oh yeah, no, I had played rogue forever. I played rogue like since I started. I played rogue since I started. I think I tried feral on private servers, and then I hated it, so I played rogue again. I played like a bit of hunter, but like rogue forever, like literally forever.
So we got a rogue lifer and a mage lifer in here. Easy.
Yeah, I don't change. I don't change. I'm
5,
gonna stay mage until I'm,
3
like,
mages. Yeah, 3 mages already. Look at that poster in the background.
Yeah, they don't make that unless you play mage for 16 years. You have to play for at least a decade before you can get that poster.
I don't know how you do it, man. I was leveling my mage through BGs and like all 3 specs. I'm just like, I just don't have fun. Like I don't know. I'm just.
Dude, all 3 specs are insane right now. I'm loving it.
Have you guys been queuing lots of skirms?
I honor capped it, and then it's kind of like, what's the point? I don't know. I'm honor capped on 2 mages already, so like after that, there's other stuff to do in the game.
Fair, yeah.
My alliance rogue is honor capped. I'm on my horde rogue. What is it at? 6K, and that is all I've gotten.
You guys see Did you guys see that we're only able to get like 500 conquests tomorrow?
Wait,
we can't even get a piece of gear. We can't even get a piece of gear.
I had all my I told you so's lined up.
Wait, what do you mean? God. Like they're doing it like?
There's a limit to your conquest that you can get each week, right? So that way you don't like just flood it with conquest gear.
Yeah, but I thought it would have been like 2K, like for an item, like it used to be. You know what I mean?
No, you can't even get a piece of gear tomorrow. I mean, you could probably get like an offhand or like maybe a ring. I didn't even look at it, but it's not enough to get a big piece. So you're gonna have to hoard your conquest.
It won't be that bad, but
does the conquest cap will scale with your rating though, right?
Nope.
You can only go up to 1800 CR. After 1800 CR tomorrow, there's just no benefit. There's no reason to go any higher.
Well, wait, so you know how the conquest cap works? Because I all I know is like the 550 or whatever, and then the next week is another 550.
So I'm not sure. It's literally on MMO right now. You can look at it. It says if you earn 550 during week 1, then you'll be able to earn 550 conquest during week 2. If you earn no conquest during week 1, then you'll be able to earn 1100 during week 2. So it sounds like the catch-up mechanic is there. So if you don't cap this week, you'll be able to get your cap next week. But it seems
you can literally just not play. What I'm curious of is if you can earn more conquest if you're higher rated, or if that's
what I was asking. Like if you're say your rival, you cap rival this week, and then next week your cap is like 700 or 800. You know, like how it used to be back in the day. You got you got more arena points the higher rating you were.
I haven't been able to find any specifics on that.
Because it'd be ridiculous, dude. Isn't a weapon like 1400 or something like that?
I think the way it's worded. Yeah, the way it's worded, it seems like the cap is increasing each week. It's not like 550
no,
each week.
No, it's 550 each week.
That's it. So after 2 weeks, you'll
Yes.
I don't know for sure. The wording is really weird. The wording is
hold on. Let me find the post. That much I am sure of. It's
okay.
I'm just not sure if the number increases with our rating, and I don't think it does. It doesn't look.
I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think it does. I thought I was under the impression too that it's lining up with for your drops for the box each week. It's lining up with heroic next week. So if you get 1800 next week, there's no point to go to 2.1. At 1800, you've gotten the highest item level piece you're going to be able to get out of your box.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I read that one on MMO.
So you're literally going to queue 1 hour of arena, and you're going to be done. And you're not even really going to. You can get a piece, and you can upgrade it with your honor. I'm also under the impression that you're getting honor from your arena games. So when you get
That's
your
gonna be a nice
conquest
change,
piece,
though.
you're going to be able to upgrade it right away. Yeah, I like that too.
I don't understand why they didn't do that before, and also why honorable kills don't count in arena.
That's a big complaint I've had for a long time too. I don't know why they make it so honorable kills don't count.
Yeah,
like that, they definitely should.
Definitely should. I don't know. How are you guys feeling about?
That's just a small oversight.
Yeah. How are you guys feeling about the overall launch of Shadowlands?
What launch? Shadowlands doesn't launch until 9.2.
Okay. Here we go. No, I feel like it was other than if you played on like Area 52 and was it?
No, it was pretty. It was pretty smooth.
Do you like the pace of like the dailies and the pace of like I feel like you don't have to play 10 hours.
Oh yeah, no, you don't have to do like anything.
Yeah, but you can if you want.
Kind of nice. Yeah, but even then, there's no reward. Like there's no character power gain for like grinding shit out.
The maw, you can start grinding for your sockets already. I don't know how much did you
Yeah,
guys
but like how much can you really grind for it, right? Like there's like a point where it becomes like painful, and it's almost redundant outside of like the dailies.
How do you guys?
You could like kill the rares, but that's like an extra like 200 maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
you cap out and literally die.
I cap out every day, 5 out of 5. I think my main is sitting on like 4K Stygia right now, and I have like halfway through Ambivalent. Yeah, but I'm buying all the upgrade items. I've been buying the upgrade items.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Permanent.
I'm at 8K, that's why I was confused.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're probably right on pace with me then. I'm human, so I'm getting an extra reputation too. I'm halfway through Ambivalent.
10%, yeah. How much do you guys like the Maw / Torghast in general?
I hate it.
No.
You hate it?
Yeah.
It'll be better once your renown's higher and you can mount, right?
Can we mount? I thought it was like one specific mount.
Well, that's what I thought too.
I thought that once you got a certain renown, I thought it was unlocked mount in Torghast. Or not in Torghast, in the Maw.
I haven't looked into it.
How is Torghast for rogues? For mage, it's a joke. It's a literal joke. I literally one-shot bosses. I walk in, I press Arcane Blast, it's dead, and I'm out.
I've had
you guys don't get that.
I've had
I
don't know.
Okay, we got buffed, but okay, one thing I want to point out is the first 4 times I did it. So the first week for both of the level 3s, I was not sub on either of my rogues, which is wrong. It's not an option for Torghast. You have to be sub because all of the powers are terrible for the other specs.
It's true.
So it was I went all out. So my main rogue, I was 170 something item level as assassin. I'm also Night Fae because it looked more fun for PvE, which also is wrong. Don't do that. If you want to play PvP as a rogue, your only choices are Subtlety and Kyrian right now. Maybe Outlaw.
Damn.
I think Outlaw is like sleeper OP, but right now, if you're not Kyrian, you're trolling. I'm trolling.
You're trolling.
But
so you have to switch yet?
I have full sub like stuff set up on my Alliance rogue. Like my Alliance rogue is Kyrian. It's just my main is Night Fae for PvE, and I'll either switch eventually or pray for an Echoing Reprimand nerf because that's all they actually have to change.
I was gonna say, do you use the add-on or the macro that Naj uses?
What macro?
Where it stops you from auto attacking, to hit your empowered.
No.
Yeah, empowered.
No, but I understand why. It makes sense.
I don't know. I think it's gonna get nerfed. I think Kyrian's
gonna get nerfed. I'm an Omega damage min maxer, so I think the auto attacks are more valuable. And if you hit it, you hit it.
That's kind of how I play it.
I would never want to cancel my auto attacks. Fuck that.
It's like your top damage, dude. It's like 20% of your damage.
Yeah, fuck that.
Auto attacks. So we had Stun God on, and he said that other than pre-med, he doesn't really fuck with slice and dice. Are you slice and dicing for the auto attacks?
Yeah, but I think it's more of like an assassin thing. I don't think you should like. Okay, I don't want to go into that talk right now. Okay, well, it's subtlety as a whole rewards doing nothing outside of stun DRs.
Yeah.
So if the more globals you are pressing when the entire enemy team is CC'd, the worse you are playing. The best thing you can do as a sub rogue is to actually go AFK and wait until DRs are back, and then you play the game for 6 seconds, and then you go AFK again. If your energy bar is not full when DRs are up, or like it doesn't even matter. Like all that matters is that you have 5 combo points, everyone is off DR, and your energy bar is full. That's how you play sub rogue, and that's it.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like
not just in arena though,
it's
right?
not.
It's
It's
like
not
in PvE as well. It's the same.
No,
concept.
no. In PvE, you can play the game more. Like it's less punishing, but you still want to use finishers. Like against players, like you actually just want to stay at high energy and just get combo points from like auto attacking and standing there.
Do you bother
'Cause,
with
like
rupture though? At all?
No,
No.
I stopped using rupture. Rupture is bait.
That's what I feel like.
Rupture is bait. Slice and dice is like I would put it up. Like if you have the chance to put it up, you put it up. Like otherwise, it's just a waste of time.
I find that interesting because Stun God says the exact opposite. He said he loves rupture, and he hates slice and dice.
Well, okay, I think putting up rupture is actually a bad habit that I have.
I do it a lot because I play
just off, like,
assassination, right?
Yeah, just off doing the math, it's wrong. Like putting it up it's just wrong. Like it's more efficient to just slam more eviscerates if find weakness is up.
Yeah, true.
Like if you have an abundance of combo points to spend, fucking go for it. Send the rupture.
I guess
But
so.
like,
what comps are you? I mean, like, what are you thinking of playing? At least to start before everything gets rebalanced.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I don't really even play at the start of the season outside of twos. So I'll probably Q2s with Disc Priest, Shamans, and then I will wait. I will outgear everyone like 3 weeks in because I raid.
Yeah, I'm raiding
and
as
then
well.
I will play.
Are you under the notion that you're going to use 2 PvP trinkets, or are you using a raid trinket? I know they all got nerfed insane.
I'll probably use the verse trinkets.
Yeah.
The raid trinkets don't really look like fun to me. And
Easy,
then
what about
just
you?
off playing beta, like Skulker's Wing is really annoying. I'd rather not.
I know I'm in a call with 2 rogues, so I'm treading on water here with this one. But what do you guys think about rogues just being unbelievably broken right now? Like any thought on them just being way too strong?
I think the entire Kyrian Covenant ability should be removed.
I hate it.
I'm dying to rogues. I literally have to block the cheap shot out of stealth. I have to, or I have to trinket, alter time, Nova, double blink. Like that's the only way I live. Otherwise, if I press nothing, I die.
My
If
Kyrian ability
or legendary, you'll be fine.
My Kyrian is hit abilities critting for 7k.
Yeah.
Like
the fact that you can guarantee a crit with it with symbols is
it's
broken.
It's so broken.
This should not be allowed. You shouldn't be guaranteed a crit on a fucking bonus ability because of a design oversight.
Chill Reefs is asking if I guess it's towards us, but I'll ask you, do you like to see sub as the top spec, or would you like to see outlaw or assassination come back?
I think sub is a design abomination. I honestly think it should be removed.
I think it's way too OP.
I think sub's biggest design flaw is, or I guess oversight would be that you can cheap shot while Shadow Dance is up. Because in PvE it doesn't matter. You're never pressing that button, so it just doesn't matter.
Off your bar, yeah.
Yeah. The problem is that you have your own DR that pretty much only rogues have like that much of, where you can just CC everything and then like nobody can play. They're all stunned.
Well, that's the thing is like if sub
that's the core of the design flaw. Like
if sub is too much control, or if you say you use the BFA amount of control and the BFA amount of damage, then it's like they're kind of balanced, right? Like Assassination did way more damage, but Sub had way more control. But right now, Sub is doing like both, right? So I feel
the problem is burst pacing. The problem is that Sub can kill you in their go.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like I feel like they couldn't do that in BFA.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
But this is what I mean. It's just a design flaw because they will either kill you, or you will live, and they will do nothing until their next go. That's it. There's no in between. It's very black and white, and it's not fun to play against because you either lose or you don't lose. There's no they get pressure from it. It's they didn't kill me here. Great, I'm alive for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know how relevant
if they kill you, then you're dead and you lose.
But I feel like dressed is also kind of.
How the hell is that allowed to be
still
hitting?
Another design oversight. It's just it's scaling with every single one of Sub-Rogue's double jumps, and then
it's affected by the crit legendary, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that's a guaranteed crit as well.
Yeah, it's just poor design.
I feel like there's just too many things, and like honestly, like I feel like again, it boils down to the fundamental, just too much control and too much damage. Like being able to kill in 4 seconds of a cheap shot seems a little bit much. And then I honestly just feel like they on top of them already being the CC kings, they get shadowy duel. Like you add one other DR in there that's just like it's only the only class in the game that even has something like that. And then you add that in there, and it's just insane. Plus the skill cap to shadowy duel with being able to grab the eye in arena, like just like things like that.
Or Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark. Oh my God, Doug's gonna be nuts.
That's
I feel
broken.
Like that puts Sub-Rogue into this whole new category of things like, and that's huge in arena, being able to outplay somebody else or do something that they can't counter. But now that you have these abilities that you literally are locking down all 3 members of the team, you cheap shot, kidney, and the team you've effectively shut the entire team down. And then out of that, you have your own 6-second CC with Shadowy Duel. That is, again, you're controlling the entire team. I feel like it's so much. It's so much. And like I think you're onto something there with like the maybe dance not being able to stun, but something should change in my opinion.
Because it's one charge.
That's just the core of the issue. Yeah, but then when they go back to that, it becomes a problem for PvE, and then they have to do damage outside of dance, which becomes a problem.
I mean,
for
I
PvP.
played sub PvE in Warlords of Draenor, and I finished the expansion as an all-star for HFC, and I mean, the only thing that made sub good was the Archimon trinket, right? But I feel
I'm just saying, like, as soon as they added charges, like, they threw it's over. Like, there's no coming back.
It's
like,
horrible. I hate
sub
it.
cannot be good in PvP because of its design. It's not allowed. Like,
are you expecting? Are you
the best or the worst?
Are you anticipating a nerf?
I mean, for PvE, probably it's already like S tier for raid, so it'll either get toned down or other things will get buffed. But I think all they actually have to change for PvP is echoing reprimands damage. That's it. That's all they actually have to change. Because once we have health, gear, stats, Sub-Rogue isn't that bad. Like it's where it should be. It's just echoing reprimand. That is the one outlier. Is that ability? They need to fix it.
Aren't they like required right now in Mythic Plus 2? Like just because of Shroud, like by itself, you literally can just skip everything with it.
Outlaw is better, but
Outlaw's better.
Rogue is required. Yes.
How shitty is Black Powder? Jesus Christ, that's so boring. I thought it was a dot, honestly, and then I used it. And I'm like,
PvE ability, but it's like, I don't know. It's rarely even worth. It's usually just better if you do single target damage. Like, I guess with more crit it'll be better because you can guarantee find weakness with Shuriken Storm.
Well, it feels bad that like for PvE it's crit verse. Like I always don't like the idea that like lots of melee are just stacking verse. Like I think verse is like either a PvP only stat or it's super boring. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's shitty. I mean, I don't know.
It's usually just like a design flaw, if anything.
Seems like there's a lot of design flaws.
I think the whole verse thing is going to get way worse too. I think we're going to see a lot of people using double verse trinket and really wanting to reap the benefit of it because it's going to continue to scale a verse. So the more verse you get, the more that 40% is going to have an impact. And it scales 40% flat increase is an exponential scaling number. Like the more you have, like when you go from having one verse and you get 40% of that to going to having 40 verse and then getting 40% of that, like that number is scaling exponentially. I think at a certain point, though, I don't think it DRs from like 1 to 10%. I think the DR
No,
starts
it's like 30
after
something.
mark. Yeah, I think that's where it starts. That's it's always kind of been like that, though.
But yeah, it'll still matter. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that's true when it comes to the trinket part. Yeah, because int right now is insane for mage. It's like 4 times the value of haste. Where last expansion
yeah,
it was like 2.5 to 1 the other way. So yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
main
yeah,
stat
that's a good
matters
point.
again, which is nice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so that will probably mitigate the trinket issue, I guess, a little bit.
Does main stat matter enough where eye level like tops all, or where do you see?
I mean, it should. It's ideal. Eye level's supposed to be important. I hope it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you? I mean, the way we're talking seems like you're not very optimistic, but like, how do you feel going into season 1? Do you think
I
like
mean,
you were talking about
it
sub rogue being OP?
consistently disappoints me. I mean, the pacing feels fine. Like, it feels okay.
I think if you
Game's still
don't
good.
know,
Game's still gonna be damp. Like,
yeah, maybe
nothing's gonna change.
if you don't know how to play the meta, you die in the opener, and you can tell who hasn't PvP'd.
But that's just how the game has been.
Yeah,
Like,
since pre-patch at least. Well, I
it's been
guess
so
longer than
long.
that. Yeah.
It's been so long since like low MMR games have like gone into dampening. Like, at least to my knowledge, like the game has always been relatively fast. It's just first year right now, which is
Out,
fine. But
outside of the rogues killing me in like 4 seconds, or I use every single cooldown at once, I actually really like the pace of the game right now. Like I was not a fan of 15-minute games.
Well, no
Like I
one
just
is, right? Like, it's
oh,
boring.
they will be back. They will be back.
yeah, yeah. I think yeah,
You wait till people have gear. They will be back.
yeah.
As soon as people understand how to respond to new cooldowns, the game will be just as damp as it's ever been.
Dude, Night
It's
Fae
not.
mages and warlocks with fucking 85 blinks. That's easy. I don't know.
I swear Night Phase a meme in PvP. I swear it is. Honestly, I just went Night Phase because it's way better in PvE. And then like I literally went at day 1, and now I see all these other people changing to it, and I swear it's just a meme. Like, it's good, don't get me wrong, but
It'd just
their
be fun
Tyrion's
too.
better, Venthir's better. Yeah, oh yeah, Night Phase so fun. I love having it for all the war questing
Yeah.
and PvE stuff that I'm doing right now. It's so convenient.
What does the mage ability do exactly?
Just resets my cooldowns by like 12 seconds. I get off of my cooldown, so I press CS and I can cast it and I get the whole channel across and I get like 12 seconds back on my CS. That's probably the most valuable part.
Yeah.
It's good for orb, it's good for klepto, but I'm playing arcane, so it's not a thing. It's good for a lot of like tiny short cooldowns that I get back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's Kyrion's gonna be way better. I swear Kyrion's gonna be the meta one. I don't know why people haven't gone for PvP. But I think honestly, like to gear and to set your character up right now for PvP, I think that's a mistake. PvP just doesn't even matter until the last month of the season, in my opinion. I think right now all that matters is
With
Mythic
like the
Plus,
title mindset.
raid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say for pushing rank 1 and stuff, but there's a lot of people who are trying to like gear up through PvP for PvE. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna
I hate
take
to
a long
burst
Yeah.
that bubble, but you're gonna have to you're gonna have to raid, you're gonna have to Mythic Plus. Like, you're just gonna be at such a
Yeah.
disadvantage. Like, I know everybody's in that hype bubble of like we
It's
can gear
going
from
to
a
be
vendor.
better. It's going to be better, but it is still going. It's going to be slower, actually.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, it was slow. People are like, you know, it was slow in BC. It was slow in Wrath. It was slow all the way up to WAD. If you were doing it every week, you know what I mean? Like, I think people don't remember how long it took to get your set in an arena season. If you were
Oh yeah,
just
no,
a
it.
2K or not, if you're
Yeah,
an
no,
1800
it did
player,
take a while.
like it
Yeah,
took
it
forever.
did take a while.
I mean, I
Yeah.
remember I was brand new at the game in BC, and I was trying to get the full season 2 because it was the coolest set I've ever seen in my life. Dude, it took me like 2 weeks per item because I couldn't cap high enough. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so there's so many items out in the game now, and people are so used to getting like 5 items in a Mythic Plus or 8 items per raid boss. Like, getting 1 or 2 items a month from arena might be what's gonna happen.
Well, the absolute fastest way to gear is raiding. Like
100%. There's not a lot of verse
The
mastery
best way
gear,
too.
at least for sub. There's not a lot of verse mastery gear in the raid.
I haven't even looked. I think crit's actually good again too.
You think so? Is it okay? Is it 1.75 or is it 2.0 for the damage.
1.75.
Right?
I think
That's
it's
what.
yeah, I think it's 175.
1.7. Yeah.
And that's why
I
dress.
wasn't
Huge
sure.
actually for fire, to be honest.
That's why dress got
Insane.
insane in pre-patch, right? Because it was hitting like for 50% of people's health, maybe more.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That affects trinkets too. That's actually a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some classes are still going to run the PvE trinkets. Like I saw like 60% nerf across the board on some of them, but 60% nerf.
It's not enough.
Yeah. Like I'd rather a button that just instantly hits for 5k. I'm fine with that. Like versus
then
like
you 100
40%
main
around
stat,
less damage.
100 main
Especially as a
stat.
mage.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some comps where that's going to be viable, where you're going to run the trinkets that are nerfed just because having that 5k damage times two people running it is going to be pretty good. I don't know. We'll have to see when gear comes out though too.
I was going to ask Nessper if you could predict the #1 rogue comp for the ladder, not just for yourself, but like, is it going to be RPS? Is it going to be RM? X? Is it going to be Thug? Like, do you think it's going to be Rogue Mage still? Because
has to be Rogue Mage, to be honest.
Do you think so? I think dude, I was queuing RPS with just like a couple, none of us are rank 1, but they're both really good players. I'm all right, but we were like 18-2 or something like that. Like playing RPS, it just felt like we were never in trouble. Like I feel like that's gonna.
Oh yeah, no, I think RPS is really good again. I think it's better than it was, but
RM still the play.
Rogue Mage's fundamental synergy will always be there. It's.
So I guess
I don't know. It's hard to top.
We've talked about what nerf sub need to make it fair, but in like I guess a reverse way, like what buffs?
It's just echoing reprimand.
Yeah, what buffs do you think assassination needs to come into line if they don't nerf echoing?
I think it's kind of fine actually. Just off testing it on beta, it actually felt fine. I was playing without legendaries because none of them worked on beta.
Yeah,
which was fun. I enjoyed logging into beta every week to report bugs that never got fixed. So I'm curious if they work now. I doubt it. Most of the bugs I found on beta didn't actually work on live. For the first week.
Isn't there still a bug right now where you can't stealth as a rogue at a certain point? Like
during dance.
Is that what it is?
You can't get a
I don't think that's a bug.
I don't think it used to be.
That's
it was 5 seconds, but now it's 9 seconds.
That's always been a thing, though. You can just cancel it.
Yeah.
You can cancel shot. You can cancel Shadowlands. You can't press your.
Yeah.
You can't press stealth out of combat if.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I don't think that's a bug.
I think it's an oversight.
That's always been a thing.
It used to be.
That's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Oh well, even when it was 10 back in like Mop Kata, like I literally had a cancel Shadowlands macro, so I could leave. Like it's always been a thing for as long as I can remember. It just didn't matter because it didn't last as long as combat for a bit. So I don't think that'll change. I don't even think that's a bug. I think that's just intended.
I don't know. It's always been like that. I know somebody's complaining about us playing with recently.
I find it annoying in World Quests, not in PvP.
It's kind of funny. That's kind of funny to me.
I was in like, why can't I stealth, man?
Yeah,
they're just running around the pillar, just trying to get a re-stealth. They're like, why can't I? But I guess that's on them for running away with Shadowlands Actor 2. So
yeah.
So do you guys both agree that the main player base is gonna, even with the, like Stoops' video saying thank you, everyone's talking big talk about PvP gearing? You think at the end of the day everyone's gonna have to PvE in order to be?
I mean, get ahead early on, yes.
I think even at the very end, at the end of the game, like I'm talking like last week of the season, 40% of your gear BIS is going to come from PvE content, at least 40%. And I'm just saying this because I've looked at all the pieces of gear, and if I want a specific stat prio, which is haste first in every single socket, you cannot achieve that with all PvP gear. So if you want like literally BISed out slots all the way down, you're gonna have to PvE. Like at least 2 or 3 pieces are gonna come from the raid, and then maybe 1 or 2 pieces are gonna come from dungeon, and that's gonna be preferably out of your box at the end of the week, like for your highest item level.
Yeah.
Like you can get away with it, right? There's always those people. Was it like Bert last season? Like just didn't do anything and get to rank 1 with like literally no gear. So I mean, there's gonna be people that are gonna get titles.
Yeah,
well, that'll be better. Like it's you can absolutely fully gear through PvP, especially end season. Like you're not You're not gonna be like time gated behind. Everyone can earn the same amount of conquest in the same amount of weeks. Period. Like if it's week 10 of the season, you can earn the same amount of conquest playing only 2 days than someone has playing the entire 10 weeks if you just grind it out, which is good. That's a good change. But it's just like at the end of the day, like if you want to get ahead faster, you need to PvE.
Yeah.
Because that's where the best gear comes from early.
And it's probably like even at the end of the season, it's probably only like a 10% difference between your character and like a Bist out character. Like it's not that massive of a deal, but to a lot of people, like that's a big deal. Like especially when you're playing
it
at the
definitely
top percentage
matters.
of the game, like that's
Yeah, it definitely
that adds up.
matters.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, Chill Reef is saying in chat, it's the opposite for PvE players as well. There's not certain stat combos that they want for their specs, so they have to PvP to get those as well. So
Badge.
yeah.
Everybody wants badge.
Yeah, you gotta get that badge. Gotta get that high level
Everybody
badge too.
wants badge.
Right? The higher
Badge
CR, the higher the
is
item level of it.
busted.
Dude, 1 minute cooldown. I was so happy to see that.
Badge is
Holy
busted.
fuck. That was the first piece I bought. I saw that. I was like, wait a second here. Did I just
Yeah.
misread this? It's
Badge
so
is-
nutty.
Badge is actually just the best trinket in the game for a lot of classes, which is really funny and really cool because I know I will have the best badge, period.
Yep. Yeah. I like it a lot.
I'm down.
I do like the socketing system. I think that I like how that carries over. I know that grinding out the maw is not the most ideal content for anybody, but I do like that
It
transition.
doesn't take long. Yeah, it doesn't take long. Like it's really not that bad, and like it's just like a daily thing, which is nice. Like it's fine. Like
Yep.
daily content has always been a thing in WoW, and I don't think it's that bad. Like when
No, I
compared
agree.
to like
Yeah.
older like daily systems, the maw is not that bad.
Yeah, I like the freedom, I guess. Like, I honestly, if you watch my stream, if anybody watches my stream, I'm raging the entire time I'm in the mall. I'm literally just freaking out all the time because I'm running in there solo with war mode on, and like I'm just running around killing everything. And I'm literally getting to 5 out of 5 Eye of the Jailer, and there comes a point.
Do you get more Stygia from War Mode on?
Do you get more Stygia from what?
For quest turn-ins and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
it's like 25%.
It's
Alliance, it matters.
Yeah, it's huge on Alliance. Like
yeah,
it's crazy that they allow that, honestly.
And I just like ganking people, but I'm having to run back to my body to loot my Stygia because I'm like
all the time
greedy over it.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed too. Maybe this is just my thing, and maybe I'm just dying way too much. But the graveyards seem like ass this time. Like the runbacks seem really miserable. And maybe because you guys are rogues, you don't have to deal with dying ever, and you literally just get to kill anybody you look at any single time you just decide to look at them. But I see a rogue, and I instantly just have to run away because I had to run the furthest I've ever had to run in the game. It's miserable.
Deal with it. Get sub nerf, please.
Deal with it. Yeah. Cast a pie, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
I just turned that one on, dude.
Going weapon first?
Yeah, I had to refresh it, but yeah, you want to buy your weapon first.
Okay. Are you going?
There is no conquest weapon, by the way.
Huh?
There's no conquest weapon.
Wait, take a look at it. What do you mean? There's definitely conquest weapons.
Double take a look at it. I looked at it pretty recently, and I think I was talking about this recently. Is there somebody at the vendor? You can confirm?
There has to be.
There are weapons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to 80% and say it's not there. Are you sure?
Ian tweeted today that they're taking the time gating
away.
They
exist.
They're taking the time gating away because they said it's an old system.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not there right now, but they exist, and I will be buying.
They're on the beta. Yeah, I remember looking at them.
Yeah, they exist.
Okay, because I went to the vendor and I looked at it. And I'm like, is there no weapons? Is this how it's supposed to be? But
Nessper, are you going slow offhand? Or are you going 2 daggers?
Probably 2 daggers. I mean, I'll probably end up buying a slow offhand for Outlaw. So I will have 4 weapons because I will be playing Outlaw in PvE.
Fair.
This I guess is a mage question to a rogue. I know this is a thing. Do you guys have to put your slow? How does this work? You have slow weapon and strong weapon, and main hand versus offhand. One of them is faster, and that one goes in your main hand.
And it's very simple now. They really dumbed it down. So if you have a dagger, or if you want to play sub or assassination, I guess just assassin. If you want to play assassin, you need 2 daggers, and daggers do not have different speeds anymore. They both attack once every 1.8 seconds.
It used to be a lot different. It used to be really cool.
If you are a sub-rogue, you must have a dagger in your main hand. Offhand does not matter. You can play whatever you want, and it doesn't really matter. I think there's like minor differences. I haven't run the numbers because I don't want to play sub anyways. And then if you are outlaw, you'll be playing 2 slow weapons because it requires you to have a slow main hand to use dispatch. You can use a dagger in your offhand. It doesn't really matter, but it is better to use a slow offhand for outlaw.
I think the mace is verse mastery from the vendor, if I remember. So.
Oh, I forgot the Y. Celerity.
Celerity. I noticed.
I slammed the fuck out of that shit.
Is that the?
I didn't even think about it. I slammed it.
Is that the ring?
Yeah, it is ring or shoulder.
Yeah.
And I made ring because the last boss or the second last boss drops a verse heavy shoulder piece. So I don't want my legendary for PvE to overwrite the highest item level pieces in the game.
Do you think the ring or that celerity is going to be like the 100% crit chance is the only good?
No, celerity is the adrenaline rush.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Legendary.
What about the like for PvP? I have the vanishing one.
Yeah, I slammed that one on Alliance. Yeah. I'm
I
playing
think that's
Vanish
crazy,
CDR.
right? It's like a third fucking.
It is very good.
A second mark for death.
You can't trinket blind anymore. You can kidney 2 targets at the same time. You can
against outlaw.
Against everyone. What
Really?
the legendary is when you press Vanish, it reduces all of your cooldowns by 20 seconds.
Oh my god. That's
Everybody
ridiculous.
will be playing that.
That's so ridiculous.
It is not even a question, and that's also why I think Outlaw is sleeper OP.
Wait, so that works for all 3 specs, right? That's not just one specific.
All 3 specs.
That's so disgusting.
It is very good.
Huh.
I just think
that's actually unbelievably OP. Holy fuck.
I think it makes Outlaw playable.
I honestly just
What's
think
Outlaw's
there's too
blind
much.
cooldown?
The way
Outlaw's
we're talking,
blind is baseline 90 seconds.
Yeah.
It is possible for Outlaw to vanish twice within a minute, which means it is possible for Outlaw to have a 50-second cooldown blind, if you get lucky.
Oh
if
my
not,
God.
it will be 70 seconds.
That seems like unbelievably broken.
It is.
That seems
It
like
is.
disgusting.
You can
Outlaw
kidney
doesn't
one
have a mortal
guy.
strike though,
You can
right?
kidney one guy. No, they all do.
Outlaw has a mortal strike?
Assassin's mortal strike is 24% down from 30. Sub's mortal strike is 12% down from 15. And Outlaw's mortal strike is 12% up from 0.
That's gonna put HPAL back at Bist Healer again. That's the only way that's gonna put HPAL right back there. She's gonna have to bot the blind, save his trinket. Like that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's gonna counter that, honestly.
Outlaw is very good. Outlaw also is the only spec with a disarm.
Dude, bring back weapon chain, dude, for real. Holy shit.
No.
That seems really interesting.
No.
I haven't seen an Outlaw in Arena in.
Nobody likes weapon chains. They're not fun for anyone. They're not fun for either side. Keep them away from me.
Last time I saw Outlaw in Arena, I was like, oh, we win. Cool. GG.
Fair.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do they do? I haven't played one. Do they do damage, or is it just a control?
No, you blast.
Isn't it the PvE spec right now, or no? It's still sub.
Sub is slightly ahead on one target. As soon as you add more than one target, Outlaw is better. By a lot. Like as soon as there are 2 or more targets, Outlaw is significantly better than Sub. And Assassin is unplayable mostly because of how broken Sub is. I think in PvP, Assassin is going to be fine once you get gear. I think it will be playable. And I expect Sub to get nerfed. And I expect Assassin to get buffed. So
you think Assassin's gonna get buffed?
They've like consistently, anytime Assassin has been bad in PvE, they bring it up every time.
Well, it's because it's the easy spec, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of rogues that play. That's at least what I think. It's the easiest of the 3 specs to play in
I
PvE.
disagree. I think Sub is the easiest of the 3 specs.
In PvE?
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. I think Sub's a joke. I think the entire spec is a joke. And I think now that people are playing against it again, they're going to agree very quickly.
It does feel really bad when you get stunned or disarmed during your dance in arena and you just don't do any damage for another 30 seconds or whatever. That's fucking...
Yeah.
I feel like it's like we were talking about it, like I was talking about it with our guest last week. And if you just, the only counter to sub is if you just play 40 yards. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way to really...
Yeah. That's been the counter.
Yeah.
But even then, the problem is that it's scaled to the point where it doesn't matter right now.
Yeah. No, I think...
Because that's how I had to play before. But like now, like, who did I play? I was playing against... It was pre-patch 2, so it wasn't the same. But I played against Stun God in pre-patch 2s.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I told my priest, if you come within 40 yards of me, we lose the game. Period. He used both Shadow Steps, his Sprint, and his Vanish to get to me. He was attacking me. I literally have their entire team slowed because I'm an Assassin Rogue. He kidneys me, Shadow Steps to my... he Shadow Steps to my healer, cheap shots, vanishes my crippling poison, Shadow Steps back to me and stuns me within a global. And I was furious because he used a minute worth of Shadow Steps to get a DR on me, and I died in the cheap shot.
Oh, wow.
Which is exactly how it's going to be in 3s. It's going to be the same thing. Like, you do nothing, you CC the entire team, and you win in a cheap shot.
That's disgusting.
That's
I think
what
it has to
Subrog
get
is.
nerfed because
It will.
Like not for the play like of your caliber. You're too obviously.
Oh, sub is unbelievably broken at the highest level because there is no counterplay.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what I mean. And but even in at like 2K, like people are just gonna be like, okay, well I die in a kidney every time. I'm just not playing.
It's a cooldown. It's a cooldown every stun. Every single stun.
100%.
No matter whether it's a kidney or just a cheap shot, you have to press.
It's fundamentally not a fun spec to play or play against in arena.
Right.
Like 100, it's not fun. Like I don't know how to say it any differently. Everyone's like, oh, forehead assassination is just arms warrior, but at least like it's counterable and at least it's fun to play. Like I like playing RPS and keeping up 2 ruptures. I like kidneying the target I want to kill. You know what I mean? Like I like those things. And
my favorite thing to do as a rogue is kill all 3 members of the enemy team at the same time. That is my favorite thing to do.
That's a little bit sassy for me, but maybe.
I'm almost convinced that sub was the best spec last patch, last expansion. Honestly, like everybody played assassination, and I know it was like.
I think
so easy.
I think it was close. I think it was close.
But like you didn't see anybody playing it. Like you saw like maybe 2 or 3 sub rogues the entire season, and they're the same ones who just played it all season long.
Well, yeah, because it promotes doing nothing. It's the same thing. You have to do nothing forever.
But it's really good. Like when it's done, when it's executed perfectly, especially when you put a Disc Priest in there. When you work in Disc Priest damage, like it actually just feels like.
Oh yeah, no, it
strong.
It was good for sure.
I just want to say on Easy, your point there, it might have been the best spec, but the difference. So I've played Assassination all of BFA. I started Rogue basically in BFA PvP, and I will say when pre-patch hit and I went to sub, everyone complained or noticed, including myself, that if you don't do the proper things in your burst, unlike assassination you kidney and you just end up doing damage. There's a way to do more damage, but basically if you kidney and envenom and you're
it didn't matter because
exactly. But as sub, if you don't line up your symbols and your dance with a kidney, I think it's a higher barrier of entry for rogue PvP because you're thinking about so many more things for a new player. Do you know what I mean?
The floor is higher, but the cap is definitely lower.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The floor is a lot higher on sub, and it's overwhelming for a new player to go from assassination to sub because you have all this extra ability as a spec. You're like, I have so many more things I can do now, and is expected of me, that you kind of just shut down and keep playing it like it's assassination.
Yeah.
I'm under the impression right now that sub is probably the highest skill cap character in the game, like the highest skill cap class on the highest skill cap spec.
And I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that with your comments. So like with the highest floor, but the lowest cap, is that because you have to press the same? your
Outlaw
rotation
is beyond the highest cap. It's not even close.
is that not? No, that's not mechanically. Is that like strategically? Are you saying? Is that where your mindset is at? Like because Outlaw has the opportunity to outplay trinkets.
Both mechanically and like strategically. Sub does nothing. You do nothing as that spec. You need to understand. You wait. Okay, so this is how you play Sub Rogue in a nutshell. It's very, very easy. So picture your DR tracker is on the right side of your screen. So picture everything is off of stun DR. You activate one of your 2 Shadow Dance charges. You press Cheap Shot on all 3 players. You can press Kidney on one of them if you want. It doesn't really matter. You can use one of your 2 Shadow Step charges, your Sprint if you want, if you need to move. All that matters is that you have ways to Cheap Shot all 3 players on the enemy team when they are off DR. And then when they are on DR, you find the pillar and you run around until everyone is off DR again. And then you do it again. And then 20 seconds pass and you do it again. And you do it again. And you just stun every player off DR. And if your team follows up, great, you win. If they don't, too bad. Try again in 20 seconds.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad
And
you
then
said
Outlaw
that.
with Gouge in there being extra DRs, 1 kidney stun, advantage for a cheap shot if you need to triple CC.
Disarm, lower
Disarm.
cooldown blind.
I've actually never seen it from that point of view. Like I've never looked at it from that point of view. I've just looked at it from
Sub
like
is
I'm dead.
unbelievably boring. I swear to God. Always once you play against Sub, like a lot of people that are like around right now haven't played against Sub Rogues a lot to know that you don't do anything. Like they literally do nothing. I promise you, Sub Rogues don't do anything. They literally just run around until people are off DR. You don't use damage globals. You just stare at diminishing returns, and when they're off, you play the game for 10 seconds, and then you wait for DRs again, and then you play the game for 10 seconds.
Okay,
I
so
wonder if this season then. Sorry,
And
I wonder if
That's all good,
this
it's all good.
season we're gonna see sub rogues in the same way we saw Ass Rogues last season, where you're just gonna see everybody playing the cookie cutter meta spec of sub rogue, and then you're gonna have the occasional outlier classes or people that are playing outlaw. And outlaw, when you play into it, is gonna be like nuts.
I
Like,
don't
you're not
think
gonna be
you're
able to handle
gonna.
it.
I don't think you're gonna find that many outlaw rogues, because
it's ugly cosmetically.
outside of myself, like the people that like vouched for outlaw also enjoy sub. I don't enjoy sub. Naj loves sub for whatever reason.
I think the sap off kidney is pretty sick, honestly. Like that, like the ability to like bomb and get a sap on it, like that without vanishing.
But you can do that as every spec. You can do that as every spec, but you have to
You
use your
commit the
2-minute
vanish.
cooldown. You have to use potentially a defensive cooldown to do it, which is why I think other specs are higher skill cap, because you have to use your probably your best defensive outside of cloak offensively. Sub, you don't have to do that. You have 2 charges of sap whenever the fuck you want. Like just want a sap, great. You have 2 dance charges, and now they last longer. The uptime is about the same, but they do last longer. So even if you press it and get disarmed, by the time the disarm is over, you will still be able to sap someone.
I agree with your point of view as a.
Which is also why I'm playing Knife, just so I have a potential ability to sap more often as other specs.
That's fair, but I feel like
It's a refreshing point of view,
the way you're explaining it makes sense for a higher rated player. But I'm just gonna say,
Oh yeah, that's fair.
If you are a 2K rogue and you Q RMP in LFG and all you do is cheap shot.
Oh, agreed.
And you run around a pillar, you're going to get called a retard and get kicked out of the group instantly. Do you know what I mean? So you have to rely, as sub, you 100% have to rely on your teammates if you're going to play the way you should. You know what I mean? Like if you can't get follow-up CC, if your second DPS can't do damage to the kill target, like it doesn't matter if you cheap shot 3 times.
Well, it does, because you literally can't be stopped. If all 3 members of the enemy team are stunned, there is nothing they can do. Like literally nothing.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I just mean like from a perspective of a 2K RMP, they might not know. Like, like
you need to get your damage in there in that cheap shot before.
Yeah, and it's gonna look insane right now because you don't even need the follow-up CC anymore. You can just cheap shot them and kill in the cheap shots, and that's all you need.
Yeah,
which is not okay.
honestly, I think it's a refreshing point of view. To look at it like that, to at least see that like maybe there is something a little bit better than sub right now. Which honestly, in my mind, going in, I literally just am under the impression sub's broken, like flat out broken. But now hearing about legendary opportunities and like skill cap plays that an outlaw can make, like it actually just like kind of shifts my perspective that
Fun. Outlaw is gonna be so much fun.
yeah,
I just hate that they got rid of combat.
I kind of want to play with an outlaw. I just want to fuck around with that shit, see what happens.
I mean, pirates.
Combat was flawed too. Like from a design perspective, combat was probably worse than sub is currently.
I wish we had step as outlaw instead of grapple, a grappling hook or whatever.
I think grapple's fun.
It's fun.
I actually like it. I like having my mobility be more controlled and less limited to like a target.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Also in chat, Nessper, we need you, a big voice in the rogue community, to help us make it so you can transmog warglaves as outlaw, because it's fucking ridiculous.
That ship has sailed, dude. We're doomed.
Dude, come on, man. We're
doomed. We can't do anything.
Dude, when
they're demon hunter weapons, they were on Illidan, and then they released his class. We're doomed. We're never getting warglaves.
Chillreef has a post on the WoW forums. He asks all the time.
Never happening. I wish, but no, it's never happening. We're doomed.
Dude, when they said that you could transmog legendaries, the first thing I did was log on my rogue. I went outlaw. I changed all my shit around, and I went to transmog my glaze, and I literally like screamed at my monitor. I wish I was streaming. I was like, "Are you serious, dude?"
No,
like,
me too.
I've had these in my bags for 9 years. Like,
so rogue can't put glaives on other than
transmog. Yeah,
you can't transmog.
Only a demon hunter can.
Yeah, not even a warrior either.
No,
even though those
just
are the two OG classes for it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, warrior technically can't because they use double two-handers.
But you could have single-minded Fury now. Okay.
Oh, is that a thing again?
Yeah, warrior can play single-minded Fury.
Huh. That actually doesn't seem valid. I don't think that seems right. I think
it's a literal
rogue was the original warglaive class. Like that was the class that got warglaives.
Yeah, it's just sad, man.
Let's hear that hunter.
I wish that'd be nice.
Do you guys think that sub is like, you know, I'm seeing people get one tapped or I guess double tapped for 20k aim shots out of stealth with no.
You can line that.
That's.
But you like I feel like okay.
Why, just a mage who blinks in front of you?
No, but it's the same thing, but to a lesser extent, because like the thing with marksman hunter damage is it is just damage.
Yeah.
Right. So there are ways to prevent damage that are not necessarily on a 2-minute trinket cooldown, right? Like there are more ways out.
I just feel like there's a lot.
The problem with sub rogue stems from the CC. Like the damage is not okay, but I think it's because of the CC that it's not okay. I think if it just did that much damage, it'd probably be fine.
Yeah,
but
that's how I feel about it.
100%. If it was assassination, right now, no one would care because you can.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yeah, like I think that.
It's close too. By the way, assassination can do very close to that much damage, especially with full gear. It is very.
Would you still play cure? Okay, if they made it so you couldn't dispel sepsis.
Even if you can, I think it's fine. I think having the CDR is actually good.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Especially with the soulbinds, because you get to play. You play one that gives you like a shitload of mastery every time you press it.
Yeah.
So getting that much mastery more often is actually really good. So it's a lot of the time it's actually okay for it to get dispelled. And then I think another thing with it is the damage is really front loaded with the initial conduit, right?
Yeah.
The conduit. Yeah, so the conduit increases the damage by the lowest level, it's 80%, and then it's 10% less each tick. So all the damage is front loaded, which is fine. So if it's dispelled, you get to do it 30 seconds more often, which is actually okay.
Does it work with Shiv?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shiv would increase it?
Yes, and mastery, everything.
Okay, wow, that's really strong.
It hits really hard. Like, even like right now with no gear, it hits really hard.
It's kind of like how Claw was, you know what I mean? If he dispels, then you just put it up. Like, that's a lot of fucking... That's scary. Yeah. That's scary because then your opposite healer's like, okay, shit.
Well, and you can have dispel cover too. Like you can cover it, and if you cover it, then great. You get Another thing too, I guess you would be able to appreciate this, but like a lot of people are like confused when I tell them about it because I was like super hyped. So when you get the free stealth ability from Sepsis, pressing Garrote does not consume the charge, but it does still silence. So you can press Garrote, so you can Sepsis, Garrote silence someone, and then you can still press another stealth ability. So you can kidney one guy, Garrote another, and then you can still cheap shot or sap a third target.
Oh wow.
Could you triple Garrote and then sap? Obviously, there's no need for the fourth, but
No, because since it doesn't consume the Garrote, it's coded as being in stealth, but it's not coded as casting Garrote from stealth. So it doesn't consume the ability, which means it also doesn't get the subterfuge bonus. So it's not getting the damage bonus or the cooldown reduction. So it puts Garrote on a 6-second cooldown, and the buff lasts 5 seconds. So you get one Garrote. You have one silence that you get to use, but you can also use a cheap shot in the sap, which is nice.
That's insane.
It's really small, but it's fun.
Would that make you not, if you're Night Fae Assassination, would you still always play Subterfuge? 100%?
Oh yeah, no, that's not even a question.
Yeah.
Subterfuge is like required.
I actually feel like subterfuge is a problem too. I mean, I don't want to keep picking on rogues. I feel like I've been picking on rogues all night.
Sub-rogues don't even play it anymore.
Subterfuge is by nature, I feel like, promote a bad gameplay.
Well, it's like
Honestly,
you don't care about flare. You don't care about, you know what I mean? Like you don't care about that shit because you're out. You're out. Oh, I can still Garrote. Like
I can agree with that, but I think a lot of why I don't want it gone is because it's been carrying Assassin for a while.
100%. It's carried me to 3 glads, so.
I see it being part of the toolkit with assassination, but I feel like the biggest problem too.
Oh
is like,
yeah, Sub doesn't even play it anymore. Like,
okay,
you don't even select it.
I feel like
you don't even need to anymore.
Gameplay of running, like honestly, I feel like rogue should just be punished for running. Obviously, I know that that's the like what you need to be doing, but like the fact that a rogue can open on me kidney, get their cooldowns out, and then 2 seconds left on the kidney, they're at the pillar. So by the time I'm actually able to do something, they're out of my line of sight, and I'm in the caster corner. Like I feel like that's a problem. I feel like that's just like bad design. Like I should be able to at least counterplay a stun in some way, shape, or form, and I just can't. I just can't. I guess I can play blink stun, but can't do that sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like I do a lot of like lower twos, like viewer games, Nessper, and that's like how this channel is basically operated. And I feel like not having like a Vanish Garrote to solo, I think like that was like my favorite thing to do. Like, you full kidney, Vanish Garrote, and then just before the Garrote silent ends, you cheap again, and it's pretty much a guaranteed kill in a carry situation. Do you know what I mean? Like I do miss that. I mean, it's not like I can't do it as sub because you're literally just hitting for fucking 5k every second, so it doesn't even matter. But like,
yeah,
I do miss that element of assassination.
Oh yeah, I think that's what a lot of people miss about Rogue in general in the past.
Yeah.
Imagine every spec had Garrote silence, every spec had Gouge, every spec had Shiv.
Yeah.
The difference was that the sub had Shadow Dance on top of all that.
Shiv is actually
so everyone played.
Oh.
Shiv is so. Instead of adding Toxic Blade, they put it into Shiv, so you actually have to choose between utility and damage, which is a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Like there are very few situations where you want to say, "I don't want Toxic Blade. I would rather have a slow for 4 seconds."
whatever that Envenom PvP talent is, where you just root after you Envenom. Like that's
it's System Shock. Yeah.
Yeah, System
You
Shock.
got 90% slow.
I don't think people realize how good that is.
It's retarded. It's actually retarded. You can't get
I understand. I am aware.
It's actually crazy. Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of
it's very good.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Stuff that just goes under like most people's radar, and they just like read that and they're like, "Why is this good?" But the fact that you are literally rooted like that's into a rogue's dam is like.
Then there's nothing you can do.
Like, yeah. There's so many like little things to rogue that I feel like are just like disgusting. Like when you think about them on paper, it's like, what the fuck? Why is this in the game?
But you have to understand how to play rogue properly. Like I guess it's every spec, every class, obviously. But I feel like a lot of people pick up rogue because they're like, oh, brain dead, dance, kill someone in a dance. But really, like, or kill someone in a kidney because you're just gushing, wounding them to death. Like, yeah, maybe, but like, there's a lot of nuance when it comes to playing at a high level. I mean, it's the same with mage. Like everyone's like, oh, just cast Pi, but if you don't know how to dodge damage as a mage, you're just gonna die anyway. You know, instantly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just shit on whatever's good or meta at the moment.
Oh yeah, but that's how the game will always be.
Yeah.
That's never gonna change.
Well, I didn't even get to ask you about how you felt. I guess shifting gears majorly, but how you felt about BFA as an entire expansion, not just.
Oh, I thought it was good, actually. I thought gameplay wise, BFA was good. I think the gearing system was inherently flawed and bad.
Yeah.
And like I think gearing and like alt upkeep and like even like main character upkeep was way too high maintenance. But I think the gameplay of BFA as a whole was really good. And I think a lot of people are gonna realize that. Like I think when people start to look back, because like that's how it's always been. Like, dude, when people played MOP, when people were in MOP, nobody was ever saying like, oh, this is the best PvP expansion ever. It was,
No, never.
This is awful. Go next.
Why do I miss Wrath?
I miss BC.
Yeah. Why do I have 900 binds?
And it was.
Legion,
I miss this.
Yeah.
I miss other thing. Like, oh,
miss Warriors having
season 8 was so much better.
I wish Warrior had 3 banners still. Like what?
Like, no.
It's always going to be like that, yeah.
Oh yeah, it will be like that forever.
Back to the past. That's nostalgia. That's just like human nature 101.
I think BFA gameplay wise was like on par, if not slightly better than Legion. I think they were very, 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 very similar.
Did you like the sorry, Easy, but did you like the what was it? The Legion PvP stats system where like what have you like they have expanded on it into BFA? Like you could
I barely even remember.
Well, you had templates, right?
Oh, yeah, no, that was bad.
But like we had like
this is just lazy.
That's because you had this gear always.
It was
geared.
It was balanced, but yeah, it was just lazy. Well, I didn't even raid in Legion. In Legion, PvP gear was the best gear. Like it was
for a couple seasons.
Oh yeah, it was huge. It was gigantic. Like
yeah, well, it's like better than Mythic gears for one season. I remember if you were 2400.
And I think stat templates were just lazy. Period. Like, they were just lazy. Because it was like, I remember when they nerfed Rogue in Legion like the first time. Like they were like, okay, Rogue is too good, so we're cutting your agility in half. And then they're like, okay, Rogue is still too good, we're gonna cut it another 20%. So it started to cause problems outside of instance PvP, because I remember I had, as assassination inside of arena, you had 70% reduced agility, so you would do more than triple your damage in world PvP. I would literally one-shot people. I would exit stealth and kill people instantly because I did triple damage. Because I would be like globaling people in arena with a third of my agility. But like,
well, if you include legendaries,
you exit arena and it's tripled. Yeah, and legendaries work.
You have 100% crit. Like
it was hilarious. Like
so.
I would actually two-shot people. It was really funny. It was not fair, but it was really funny.
True.
To touch on the gear part, I do think though, like how bad it was for your alts previously, I do think that the gear factor is going to get back to that same point. Maybe not so much with corruption, but
it'll be easier to attain is the good news.
Yeah, or at least like maybe but like
I think sockets will be an issue again. Unless there's like some sort of catch-up mechanic for stages, sockets will be a problem again.
I think if you're smart,
I'm not sure there'll be as much of a problem because stat amps are not in the game anymore.
I think you're going to want to be a little smart with your sockets though. Like as long as you're not socketing until you get like the perfect statted piece, like as long as you're not just slapping them in once a week, I think you're going to be fine. I think from the looks of it,
you need to lob them onto your BIS gear.
Yeah,
you only get 5 sockets apparently. In chat.
Yeah, you can only put
5 total. Yeah.
That's fine. I like that.
I mean, you should get like
that's
one
fair. That is good.
Maybe one every week and a half, honestly, the way it paces out. And the way it's looking to pace out once you have the rep, it seems like one every week and a half. So I don't know. Maybe for people who have like multiple specs, but if you're just purely looking to socket for like a rank 1 push, like I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue. You shouldn't be replacing too many pieces.
Yeah,
We're not doing 10 visions.
I think that's good.
Yeah. I honestly, all in all, I'm really happy with the expansion. I have, other than the finding little parts of me just buying the rogues, like
I think new gearing systems are fantastic compared to BFA. Gearing improvements are huge. My concerns are with gameplay. My concerns have always been with gameplay. Period.
No, I agree.
I think all in all, I'm pretty satisfied. We haven't even touched on Shadow Priest at all. Like, I feel like there's some classes that are also,
I think mind games could use a little touching up,
needing some changes. But like, all in all, like, I'm super optimistic. Like, I go into, I log on every day and I'm just happy to play. Like, I feel like I'm actually like relieved to play, as opposed to like, well, I'm gonna get fucked into this game. Like, I'm gonna get kicked 19 times on G5s. This is the spec I have to play with this comp. Like, now I'm actually going into it and I feel like I can play whatever spec I want. I can play with whoever I want right now, and it's super relieving. Like, it's nice, I guess, to say the least.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think, when everyone's like, what's OP, what's good? And I'm trying to think of like, or like when people come in the stream, like, what's shit right now? What shouldn't I play? And I'm like, there really isn't anything that's like so bad that it's unplayable right now. And I don't think the game has been.
Don't know yet. I don't think we know yet.
But I mean, like when I'm seeing like, oh, Enhanced does crazy burst, Ret is absolutely insane. You know what I mean? Like, there's lots of stuff that's crazy.
I do like ret damage, by the way. I know people bitch about it all the time, but you kite it. I feel like there's counters, kind of like I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier with hunter damage. But I do like when damage is high and it's preventable. Like Shadow Priest being busted, but you can lock out mind games. You can lock them out, and then they're scared.
Nerf the ret self healing or the healing.
The wad is really good.
Yeah.
I'm fearful of prop pally. Stungabung is gonna have a fucking hell of a season this time around, dude. Honestly,
it's gonna be ridiculous.
I'm a little worried about prop pally. I think I touched on this a tiny bit. With how good rogues are, I think Pally is still going to be insane. Like, you just bubble bop, sack, trinket wings. Like, I just feel like it's too good right now. And if rogue's the meta, I feel like Pally just sort of kind of counters that a little bit. So you're going to see a lot of Pallies, whether that's Ret with Cupid, whether that's Prot with Stungabun running with the entire ladder, or you're going to see
that's
Crusader on 16 of his H-Pals. You think so?
Sub-Rogue is very good into Holy Paladin. The best healer into Sub-Rogue is Resto Shaman. Historically, it always has been.
Because of Earthen?
They have a lot
because of how they heal.
The lower they are, the more they heal. And
Sub-Rogue excels at getting people very low. Shaman excels at healing people that are very low.
Yeah.
Which
feel like they have something.
Which is also true in... Assassin works like counterintuitively to that too. Like Assassin is very good at killing people that are low and keeping them low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm thinking of utility, like Sank to get out of the stuns. Thinking Bop to counter the Vendetta go, or in this case the Shadow Dance Dress go, or Shadow Dance whatever trinket go. You just bop it into a situation where you're playing a legendary and you can't trinket the blind, and you have to get out of that blind, otherwise your teammate dies. Like,
well, I guess historically too, Earth Shield has been like a DR, like it's been a damage reduction, so it probably won't be the same. But I do think like fundamentally shamans are very, very good into Sub-Rogue.
I think they're strong right now too. Like, not just in the sense of like countering rogue. I think they're actually
they're very strong. Dude, Ascendants, the Ascendants base heal is like 40% of their health right now.
Yeah,
which is
they're very good.
They're very strong. But honestly, this has been. I feel like we haven't really touched on BFA, and usually we do like half and half, but we've just been cruising. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. I know I don't want to keep you here for like 2 hours or whatever. Like, I could talk Rogue all night, but I'm sure Easy's like, yeah, for sure, Rogue's OP. Fucking, I'm tired of dying in 3 seconds. Yeah, but we've had lots of questions from chat. I was just wondering if you guys wanted to, maybe if I missed any, or if you guys had any questions, type them out right now for us. And then I got people yelling next door at my house right now. But
otherwise, Nessper, do you have anything that you want to, maybe if you could give a tip to like a fresh rogue, a rogue that just made the class for the first time and is like, I heard this class is good, I want to be good at rogue, I want to be a 2s hero, I want to be a 3s hero. What's something you would pass on? What's one tip you could say, or 2 tips even, that you would try to give to that rogue? Because I think this is like a primarily a rogue stream for him.
Trying to like, it's easier for me to like answer questions because it's like there's the hardest ability to use actually is blind. I think if you try to get good with like using your blind and making sure you're doing something with your blind and not just like pressing it to press it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as you're pressing blind and you have like a mindset of like, okay, I use blind, I want him to trinket, but if he doesn't, this is what I'm going to do. Like you need to making sure your blind gets value is very, very important. I think it's honestly the hardest part about Rogue is using blind well.
Yeah,
So
lining it up with a dance or making sure you get a sap out of your blind.
yeah, just like anything.
Yeah.
Like
a kidney
because
out
a
of
lot of the
blind
time,
even if you can't.
because I think a lot of people say, or a lot of what I hear is like always make sure you can sap off your blind, but like
It's not necessary.
I don't agree with that. I think Vanish is a separate cooldown, and I think as long as there is follow up for blind or it gets a trinket, having Vanish as another cooldown another time is better, like a lot better.
I agree.
So,
I mean, you have partners, right? If you're playing a rogue mage, like how come?
Yeah.
How come you can't get a poly?
Yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
if
Like,
you're using 2 2-minute cooldowns at the same time every time, you could just be staggering them and getting
well,
just
the other
as much
team
value.
knows you're gonna do it too, right? They're just waiting
Yeah.
for it. They're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll try and get the sap. You know?
Yeah,
And
but
he's
like
gonna do
if
it every time.
nobody else is trying to do anything, then whatever.
Mhm.
Huge.
No, I agree. Also, simple things like if you're gonna like to add on to what Nessper said, if you're gonna blind someone, make sure you either have your partners know that you're gonna do it, so you have to create pressure.
Oh yeah.
On top of the blind to force a trinket. If you say you blind someone, you blind the healer at 100% health, and the DPS is at 100% health, and he's not in a kidney, and he's just running around while you're hitting him, there's no reason to blind. Like, there's no reason for the healer to trinket it. You have to create a situation where, oh, it's 4 seconds into blind, I still need to trinket it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to create that, like, that worry feeling for the healer. You can't just blind and think,
Yeah.
you know, like, I find a lot of people just throw out blind, like you said, with no, not even follow-up CC, but no follow-up pressure onto the kill target.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. So are you, last question I'll ask you, I guess, is you're rating, are you rating like cutting edge? Are you rating like for famed or what's going on there?
Just see.
Yeah.
I just do it for the gear, but like
same, yeah.
Guild I raid with is just perfect effort to success ratio. Like show up 6 hours a week and we kill all the bosses, so it's great.
Awesome.
I don't have to raid that much and I still get all the gear.
I think it's super lame that famed isn't a feat of strength. Like there's no reason for a completionist like me to even waste my effort other than just going through there one time to get the gear, because famed is a huge accomplishment on the PvE side of things.
Yeah.
It's not a feat of strength. Your guild gets it, you don't get it. I can join a guild and I can now wear famed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of a silly system, but it's just on a side note. This is my take from it.
Yeah, I didn't know it wasn't a feat. I mean, that's kind of weird.
Guild thing, yeah. Like I said, the guild could just go and get the Fame Slayer title, and I could join that guild, and I can put that title on if I wanted to.
That's whack. I mean, that, I guess they do that so that people, you know, rosters are 24, 25, 26 people. Imagine if you weren't in for the kill and you rated 11 out of 12. Like the same thing that happened with Server First back in the day. It's like, yeah, no, I was in for all the prog, but I missed that night. Now I don't have a title for the rest of my life. Like,
or you could go back in the next week and get it, right? Like that would be the
I guess so, yeah.
In the next week after your guild's already cleared it, and there's like 100 slots available for it or whatever. But I don't know, just my take on it. I mean, honestly, this was fun. I feel like I could go for days. Like I love playing with rogue. My class is super complemented by rogues. So I mean, I would just soak up all the rogue knowledge out there, because I feel like I get better at my own class by learning from.
Yeah, I just learned how to play sub, guys, so we're good. I'm just gonna run around a pillar.
Fun, that's it.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Just that run like Vine, the dun dun, you know what I mean? Like when you just run. So, anyways, cool. I appreciate Nessper you coming on.
Do we have his Twitch and his medias and stuff that we can?
Yeah, we're definitely. I'm gonna PM you, and then you can send me all your socials, and I'll put it in the YouTube description. But make sure he's in the chat right there. Just Nessper. Just click on his name, the verified Nessper.
Verified other than Nightbot.
Yeah, big flexer. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got that check mark back in WoD, dude. I've had that check mark forever.
Damn. Must be nice.
Yeah,
must be nice.
Right on my way there as we speak.
Yeah, I got it when it was easy.
Yeah, I'm still chilling at 20, between 20 and 30 viewers, but I've only been streaming for 6 months, so we'll see how it goes.
I respect the grind. I can't do it.
I appreciate it. Anyways, thanks so much for coming on. Hopefully we can have you on again sometime, maybe a check-in at the end of the season or something like that.
Oh yeah, dude, end this season is so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the last two, dude, Easy, you're so lucky, by the way. The last two
I know.
have been amazing.
Dude,
like,
if you didn't,
best in years. Like, not even close.
If you didn't get subbed out, by the way, for that last game, whenever they picked up, you were farming my team, by the way. Like, literally, if you didn't get subbed out for that warrior, we were not going to win.
I mean, they had to try to get Nelly rank 1.
I am so glad, man. It came down to the last hour.
We were just gatekeeping, dude.
I am so glad, man. I didn't even know all of a sudden, like, wait, who's queuing with a warrior? And the first game, like, was a free game for us. And then the second game was literally
we were like 35-30, so we were like, all right, whatever. We have all the MMR. We're farming everyone.
Yeah.
Like, and we just went our last 3 games of BFA were all into Ceralium, Drake, and Brian, and we went 3-0.
Damn. That's fat MMR.
That was the best end-to-end expansion ever. And like, for reference, I think our record against them the entire season was probably like we won maybe no, those were the only games we won. We won 3 games all at the end of the season, and they won like the previous 70. Like, it wasn't even close.
In case the people don't know what I'm talking about in chat here, Nessper gatekeeps the last day of the season, and this is not the season that I've encountered that. He has actually almost stopped me from getting rank 1 twice, 2 seasons in a row. The season before that, he was queuing with Vaults, and I think it was probably...
I kept Claudio out of range in, what's it called, the season?
You almost stopped me during Notorious. Like, I was like, fuck, man. If there was one game where...
My ult. You're like,
I know, man. It's like, dude,
my ult is
game in here.
My ult was getting RPS at like 2,700 MMR on the last night of the season with Floormat and Corlick, and we were just keeping people. Like, we were below everyone, but if you fought us, we were taking all of your MMR.
Yep. He's infamous for gatekeeping on the last day. And if you are pushing rank 1 and you are not safe on the last day, you are going to have to face Nessper, and you are gonna have to either win or hope to knock you into him, or you're just not getting rank 1. That's literally what it comes down to.
You're gonna get it. That's just how it works.
Yep. No, I got super fortunate, dude. I got my last game on there. There's one other team that was queuing. It was that Tonald, and
I remember.
We may have stopped them from getting rank 1, which feels bad, dude.
Damn,
feel
dude.
bad for Tonald. Yeah, he was above. Yeah, he was above cutoff. He didn't sit. He queued like a couple more games, and we yoinked those points away. But
he likes to have fun, dude.
They were like 1 game above on Alliance. Like, they were 1 over. So like they were safe, but they wanted to get extra safe, and then they just never got back there because they lost.
Damn.
They were.
Yep. I don't know. That was a lot of fun. It was a good season. I took a big sigh of relief that night, dude. I slept very well that next day, dude. But I'm sure I'll see you back out there. Hopefully, maybe we queue again this season. I felt bad, honestly. I really liked playing with you and Tiki. You didn't know all the strats, and it was like the last 3 days. I was not ready for it. Yeah, I was
everyone the last couple of days.
Yeah. I loved it. The games were going really well. I could tell. I was like, dude, if I kept playing with you, I would have gotten it for sure. But at that point, I was just like Mage Lock mindset. At this point, I played the entire season as Mage Lock. I was like,
casting those 2-second pies.
Yeah, that's exactly
cooking them up.
Yeah. I literally queued like 7,000 games as Mage Lock, and then all of a sudden Nessper on the last like day is like, "Yo, you want to queue?" I'm like, "Fuck."
You're not gonna say no.
But, I'm not ready. I'm like regemming every game and rechanging everything in the game of. But I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
It is what it is.
But,
all right. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you coming on, and I wish you good luck on both your rogues and PvE. And it was really cool, really chill. Make sure you message me, Nessper, all your socials so I can add it to the YouTube and all that stuff.
Will do.
Cool.
All right, guys. Peace
out. All right, we'll be in touch, man.
Have a good one.
GG's, guys.
GG's, thanks for having me.
All right, boys. Before we leave the chat, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe to YouTube, please. The more people that like and comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the more likely high-end players like Nessper, like Easy himself, the more people want to come on, right? The more views we get, the more we get out there. So share it with your friends. That would be great. Share it with everyone if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then obviously don't do that. I only want you to do that if you like it. But I'm gonna say thank you for watching, and let's get back to playing some WoW, I guess.